Guys, how are you all doing? Welcome back to the channel, and well, I've been getting this video sent to me so much. I'm going to do a disclosure before we get into this. Obviously, you can tell by the thumbnail, and you can tell just as soon as I loaded this video into this recording software, Fantano does not like the new Avenged Sevenfold album. Now, I have a video on my channel that is being absolutely smashed to death with the dislike button. And I've upset a lot of people with beards that situate just around the neck area. But that was just my opinion of that track. I have, however, give the album another listen through. And I have a favourite track. Yes, I actually like a track on that album. My favourite track from the new Avenged Sevenfold album, and the only track that I think I can listen to over and over again, is Cosmic. Holy shit, that guitar work. That is very much Mr. Sinister Gator at his best. So, yes, we return to Mr. Fantano. This is probably going to make me laugh. Like, I'm probably going to agree with him on most points. If he says it's not good, it's not. I'm sorry, people. It's not. It is not Avenged Sevenfold for me. It really isn't. Now, I know there's going to be people in the comments going, we'll go and listen to The City of Evil then. We'll go and listen to Nightmare then. We'll go and listen to the self-titled. We'll go and listen to Sound and the Seventh Trumpet. And it's just like, I still do. I like this band. I'm not going to stop listening to them because this album is not great. But, I mean, look, it's still there. I haven't got it covered up. Yet. But anyway, let us see what Fantano has to say. I really didn't agree with him when it came to Sleep Token, but I don't know. Opinions, he may redeem himself on this video, Mr. Fantano. I don't mind the guy, to be fair. I've watched some of his other videos, and it's very clever what he's doing. It is very, very clever. It's not just him saying he doesn't like things, it's the way in which he says he doesn't like things. And for comedy value, it's fucking awesome. So yeah, let us get into it. It's just the face, man. The face at the beginning of the video says it all. Here we go. Here is his review of Life is But a Dream by Avenged Sevenfold. I mean, it even says in the title, is not good.
What the hell is this? What is this? So, one of the most popular bands in modern metal music, Avenged Sevenfold, has come out with a new record here. And it's quite perplexing. I mean, historically, I haven't really been a big Avenged Sevenfold fan. I thought their music was merely just okay, not quite for me. And look, you guys can go back in the history of my channel. Despite the fact that I just don't really find the band's music all that interesting, I haven't really made it a point to go out of my way to, like, you know, crap on their stuff or anything like that. I just think they're fine. Their music is okay. I see and understand the appeal behind it. And, you know, I think the fact that they have been as successful as they've been over the years, it's valid. It's cool. I get it. But man, they really decided to throw a wrench in the works on this new record. No, that's an understatement. They are just taking a bunch of different wrenches and just bashing the shit out of the works with them and just crumbling it to the ground until the works have been turned to dust. And usually that sort of thing would excite me. You know, I love seeing a band, I love seeing an artist take a risk, do something out there, do something unexpected. That's typically the sort of thing that we celebrate over here on this channel.
And you know what? I will agree. And I do like bands taking a risk, and I do like bands experimenting and changing things up. Just sometimes it doesn't work. And, you know, it's the internet. Of course, if you make these videos, people, start a YouTube channel. For all them people leaving the comments down below, start a YouTube channel. You're not allowed an opinion anymore. No. Opinions. If your opinion does not match the viewer's opinion, you're wrong. You will always be wrong and will be wrong forever. Told you. Anywhere that has a beard just below here, you upset them people and it's game over.
I like, you know, some easygoing and, you know, very palatable music as well. But, hey, something weird, a left hook, I'm usually down for it. But in this instance, no. Like, what? How? I feel like if I wanted to put this record in a nutshell, I would say that it pretty much sounds like a fish out of water. A fish out of water and in space, orbiting Jupiter, gathering speed and momentum, spinning around the planet, and then rocketing back to Earth at light speed to just to hit the surface of the planet and explode and just like crack Earth in half.
What does that sound like? A fish out of water goes up to space, flies right. My mind's trying to imagine what that sounds like.
Yeah, that's what this record is. Because I guess right from the opening track here, this is supposed to be some kind of like avant-garde metal. Weird,
100%.
artsy, left field experimental metal, but it does not come off like that at all. Because if you listen to any avant-garde metal, this is so goddamn far off. This is like a single clown standing out in a crowd of demons. Because like right from the push of play on this record, it kind of sounds like Weird Al doing experimental metal parody, but like there's no jokes in the lyrics. And just to make things even more kooky, from there are rock passages that sound like bad Muse worship, and then it kind of turns into something that sounds like a bad metal off-Broadway musical. Like if someone tried to do the metal equivalent to Hamilton, but it just came out just absolutely unlistenable. And I think a lot of that comes down to the guitar sounding so thin, the production.
And I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that one. I will defend this album, people. It's happening here first. You're seeing this live on YouTube. The guitar work is not thin. It really isn't. Vocals are strange. Like, vocals are weird. There's some processing, production thing going on that I can't get behind. Guitars aren't thin. There is still some very, very, very lovely guitar moments in this album. And I can say that as a guitarist. So, there is. Cosmic, like I said before, I really am getting behind that song. I've listened to it a good few times. The guitar work in that is phenomenal. Sinister Gates is an amazing guitarist. He really is. Regardless of what I've said angrily in previous videos, you cannot take away from how talented Sin and this band are. It just upset me, so I said hurtful things, okay? I'm allowed. I wasn't happy. But no, guitar work being thin, I will defend the A7X boys there. No, guitar work, definitely not. It's great.
Production being so dry, the vocals being so awful. Why are the vocals so bad? Yeah. Usually the singing on an Avenged Sevenfold album you could count on as being like, you know, again, just like everything else they do. Fine. But the pitch and the melodies on so many of these tracks are just off. The genre combinations are tacky and stomach churning. It sounds like terrible theater kid metal, but not in the cool way that Ghost does. No, this is like a heavy guitar opera, but without any of the knowledge of what makes opera appealing, nor the skill to pull it off. And the lyrics aren't that much better. If I have to listen to this Plastic Daisies line again on the song Mattel, I swear. And somehow as the record continues on, the instrumentals and the vocals get worse. Like on the song Nobody. What is this singing? Why does M. Shadows sound like he's in excruciating pain all throughout this song? And the more the track layers up, the more insane I feel like I'm going. From the repetitive shredding to the overly thick, distorted, and chorused main riffs, the farting bass notes. I guarantee you this song is making its way to some like Guantanamo Bay torture playlist right now.
Wow.
And if this wasn't bad enough, the following track, which was also a single, We Love You, is even more unhinged. Not just because of the sour, gross, and hideous jazz metal chords that kick the entire track off, but on top of it, what's going on with the vocals again? Because it's not just bad singing now. It's like in the middle of certain lyrics, you'll hear like a or a is this goo goo gaga metal? What the? Not to mention the odd thumping kind of industrial metal passages that are topped with more sex, more power, build taller, build wider. I'm convinced this band hates their label, and this whole record is like an elaborate attempt to prank Warner Brothers, because some of the material on this thing somehow makes the musical world of Corey Feldman sound firmly grounded in reality. And yet, despite how weird it is, or it's
God. It's like this band, he'll hate the label. Oh man, that's the fucking line of this video. I've never heard anyone say that. I think this band hate their label. It's just gonna troll Warner Brothers. Oh, Fantano, you're redeeming yourself, man. You really are.
Trying to be, it's simultaneously just not really all that out there. It's kind of like I'm listening to a lesser Mr. Bungle, a Mr. Bungle at home, a boneless Mr. Bungle. The part that's mind-blowing and weird and leaves me flabbergasted is that literally nobody involved with this at any point is like, hey, you know what? This kind of sounds like shit. That's the part that's confusing. However, I will say, the fifth track here on this record, that being Cosmic, this is the most listenable song on the entire album.
That's the song I like.
A lot of the vocal harmonies on this track are actually clean and well crafted. However, it doesn't take long for the band to take things in weird territory once again with some glistening guitars and drums and...
The guitars aren't weird. The guitars make that song. Like, Sin just goes, I'm doing a solo now, and he starts doing his thing. It does go weird. I'm not going to lie. But it goes less weird than the rest of the album. But Cosmic's good. And he liked that song, and that's the one I like too. So, there we go.
Vocoder vocals, they're kind of sounding like a bit of a Ram era Daft Punk for some reason, and that is not the only time that comparison is going to come up, believe me. Beautiful Morning, I thought was an Alice in Chains cover at first.
It's very, very fucking Alice in Chains. That's the band. That's what I thought. I was listening to that song going, this sounds like fucking an old band. Like an older band that like older people like. The older people listen to. It was fucking Alice in Chains. Nailed it, Fantano. It really does sound like an Alice in Chains song.
Until the vocals popped in and I realized that there was like no recognizably good or Alice in Chains-esque melody to be heard. But yeah, that's kind of how derivative the guitars and drums are on this cut. And once again, the lyrics leave a lot to be desired, especially with bars like, you walk on water, but the water swallows you. And look, I get the dark point that's being made at this point in the song with the surrounding context of what's being said, but like I think it's funny how this poignant moment is literally just describing what happens when you try to walk on water. It's not like a little too on the nose. This couldn't have been put more poetically. We have another weird tacked on and horrible stylistic change in this track as well, where one moment we're going from these really silly and out of tune metal vocals, help me to hear me to save, to this sudden change into like a sunshine psych pop passage that's a little Beach Boys, a little Willy Wonka soundtrack. Yeah, that, despite it being as serene as it is also just an extension of the nightmare. It's so frustrating because none of these songs can really like just decide on one way to be awful, which is also the case for Easier, where one moment you have all these like smooth futuristic synths and vocoder vocals, then another you're getting kind of like heavy riffs with vocals on top of it that sound like the front man from Stone Temple Pilots singing into a coffee can. Then from here we have like a trio of songs on the record who like the first letter of each word in these songs spells out God. And it's funny that these tracks are like a part of a trilogy within the record because you wouldn't think so with them sounding like completely unlike each other and not connecting sonically in any freaking way. The first track sounds like some really awful Devin Townsend jazz prog crap where again it feels like Avenged Sevenfold is challenging themselves to
leave Devin alone. I mean, I'm not a massive fan, but he does some interesting stuff. And a lot of people take inspiration from him. Like, and he's a nice guy as well. Like, I've seen a couple of videos where he just invites kids backstage, not like that, and then gives them guitars and signs things and stuff. It just so happens to be that, like, every video that I've seen, it just so happens to be a kid. Not like that. But yeah.
Like conjure as many awful vocal harmonies as they possibly can, which is pretty much making me feel like track 5 was purely by accident. Like, why are all of your vocals so dry and so flat and so terrible? Like your cousin who just got into production EQ'd them. Plus at this point, all of the terrible like spoken word husky vocals happening throughout the track, is it adding to a narrative? I don't know. The song is so garbage and the entire record is so annoying to listen to, I can't even be bothered to know what the fuck the narrative of this shit is. Then the second track in this trilogy, the Ordinary song is...
He really doesn't like this album.
It's Daft Punk's Get Lucky. That's what the fuck this song is. This song is boneless Daft Punk. Why does this track sound like Random Access Memories on a shoestring budget? Like, I swear, these guys just really got into the Daft Punk album and decided to rip off a bunch of ideas from it very badly. The final part of this trilogy is like a schmaltzy, loungy, string-kissed ballad. It's like metal Frank Sinatra, or what happens when you listen to Mike Patton.
It does sound very swing jazz. Yeah, Sinatra. Like, it does. I wouldn't say that was a bad thing. I mean, ballsy to try and do Sinatra in general. I mean, you've got to be good to make that sound good. But it does sound... Yeah, I actually agree with the comparison. Probably don't agree with what he's going to go and say about it. He is going hard on this album. You thought I was bad. You people can't say nothing about what I've said now. This guy is destroying it.
For the first time. And that's effectively the last song on the record, as the closing track is just kind of a soft, gentle, ragtimey-esque piano piece. It's like
strange.
Some Fallout Game Over screen music, Cuphead secret stage, or like what you might hear on a BioShock select screen. This album sucked. This album sucked big time. Big suckaroony on this thing. God damn. I mean, I'm sorry if that sounds like rude or rough or just, overly mean or whatever. And look, nothing in this review against anyone in the band personally. I don't know any of those guys. I don't got beef with any of those guys. And I'm sure they're all nice people. But I have no idea.
Do you know what? Like, he's just touched on it. Wow, what a place to pause it. He's just touched on that then. People attacked me in my video saying, prog goblins. And it's like, I personally don't know any of these guys. I've never... I have nearly met Shadows at a gig. I waved at Sin when he went and played Guitar Hero on the bus. Seen him and Zachy playing Guitar Hero when I seen them in Manchester. I don't have anything personal against the band. I mean, it may come across personal. There's a difference between it being personal and passionate. Like, I love this band. I've loved this band for years. And this album just does not do it for me in the slightest. I like one track. I like one track off this album, Cosmic. And it took me a while to get into that. I went back and listened to what you guys said. I went back and I listened to the album a good 3 or 4 times. Hated it still. But Cosmic, it spoke to me a little bit. And I liked the guitar work. And I found myself rewinding bits of the track and then eventually just rewinding to the beginning and then letting it listen. But it's not good, people. It really isn't. And as music fans, we are allowed to have an opinion. I mean, for fuck's sake, it's a reaction channel. A reaction is our reaction to that song and our opinions. It's the whole point of the fucking content. Like, you can't come on a channel and disagree with someone and leave them negative comments because they told you they don't like it. There's plenty of other people that'll tell you they do. I've told you this plenty of times. Well, this is about the end of this video. Let's see what he has to say on the end.
Idea what the hell Avenged Sevenfold did on this record, was trying to do on this record. I mean, I have a vague idea given all the very obvious and lazily Xeroxed reference points, but the execution is severely off. Like, clearly the band did not have the ability and talent or finesse.
They've got talent. They have. No matter what I've said in previous videos, they are super talented musicians. They're as big as they are for a reason. I just don't like this album, and probably never will.
To truly embody the stuff that was influencing them on this record. And
DMT.
If they were going to do something along these lines, maybe they should have let it incubate a little bit longer. And again, admire the risk, admire the attempt. But this new Avenged Sevenfold record, it's not good.
It's not. And there we go, people. There is a Fantano's opinion on the new Avenged Sevenfold album. He's entitled to his opinion. Just so happens to match up with quite a few people's opinions on the internet. He went in hard, though. He really did. You people can't say anything about me anymore. I mean, I actually thought that was quite funny. I would absolutely love to see, even my videos, like, Shadows or anyone from the band, Sin, Zaki, any of them, to watch some of the reactions to this album, because I personally don't think they give a fuck. They've got too much money to care. Shadows, I mean, I watched them on Nick Nocturnal's Twitch when he had them on live. He doesn't give a shit. He really doesn't. Like, he actually doesn't like albums that are some of their best work. He just thinks that they're not great, but people like them. So, you know, some musicians hate their own work. The fans love it. They might love it. The fans might hate it. It's just one of them, people. It swings and roundabouts. Opinions are opinions. Everyone's going to have one, unfortunately. It's just how you react to that person's opinion. But there we go. Fantano. I hated the Sleep Token video, but I'm sorry. That one made me piss. That was funny. It's like they hate their record label. Line of the video. Fucking legend. But there we go. I will leave it there, people. I have listened to the album. Disclaimer alert, like I said at the beginning, I have listened to this album about 3 or 4/4.5 times now, and Cosmic is my favourite track, so there we go. I will leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, people. I will see you all on the next video. Take care. Yeah, bye for now.